Hi, we're back again. I'm Ann Pearl. You're watching Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region. And with me I have the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York. And they're doing a play coming up. It's a premiere. Now, I have to read it because it has a title that I kind of, it's The Most Spectacularly Lamentable Trial of Ms. Martha Washington. Did I get it all in?
Yeah.
And I got Martha behind me. Lucy Breyer is Martha. And next to me, I have Moriah. Hi, Moriah. How are you today?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay. She's a new actor, and her name is Moriah Edmunds. And then we have Morgan Heyward. And then we have Angelique. And you've been on the show, Angelique, before, as has Lucy. We're talking about the play that is being directed by Patrick White, who could not be here today. But it's also being performed at the Sage colleges, and it's their Meter Theater Meter Theater it's called. So let's start out with our youngest. Now, let's see, who would that be? Moriah, you are the youngest. How long have you been acting?
First time.
First time? Oh my! How do you like it?
I like it.
You do?
Yes.
You learn all your lines?
Some.
Hey,
It's
I
honesty.
think Daddy's in the audience. Is he? Make sure she gets those lines there. Good. But you're having a good time with it.
Yes.
And Patrick is awesome, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. What grade are you in?
Second.
Second? What school?
Don't start.
Where?
Don't start.
Oh, you're going to Doane Stewart. Oh, very nice school. Good. Keep it up. So we're going to go right over here to Morgan. So who are you playing?
So I play Priscilla.
Okay. And who is she?
So she is one of the slaves that serves Miss Martha Washington. She's one of
You
the
had
house
slaves?
That's what the play is about.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I play opposite Angelique.
Okay. And you are?
I'm Doll.
Your doll.
Yes.
Are you a slave too?
I am, unfortunately, but fortunately, it's
But
a
it's a
chorus.
story.
It's a
It's a
story,
right.
and it's non-linear.
Yeah.
And so we get to play a whole host of characters. Actually,
Oh, wonderful.
So the slave is the best part in this show.
Yeah. And I know that you have been in so many plays,
Yes.
and I know that Patrick likes working with you too. And
Love
have you
him.
worked with Patrick before?
This is actually my first time
Okay.
working with Patrick and my first time working with the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York. So I'm really
is
excited
John
about that.
or is Remy? Have you met Remy?
Oh yes,
Okay.
I know Remy very well.
Yeah, he's
definitely.
wonderful, isn't he? Yeah, he's such a great, and he had this vision, and it went from Soul Theater,
Soul Rebel.
Rebel,
Yep.
to this now. And Liz, wait a minute, how did you get in this?
I'm the token white person in this play.
But you are Martha Washington.
I'm playing Miss Martha Washington, yes, and the plot revolves around Miss Martha. The play is based in a historical fact, which is that George, when he died, freed
That's the President of the United States.
George Washington, when he died, wrote in his will that his slaves were to be freed upon Martha's death.
Oh, not even his.
Not his. And so the setting of the play is a short time, a year or so after Martha has been widowed, and she's ill. That is not a historical fact, as far as I know. But
Well, she probably got ill at some time.
at
so
some
it's
point,
probably
but
okay.
in the play, and the slaves, his slaves, who would be free if she were dead, are essentially
I think
waiting
there's a
waiting
plot
for
here
her to
somewhere.
die.
Something's coming up here, bubbling to the surface.
Yes, so that's the conflict in the play,
Yeah.
is that they would like her to either just
Free
shed
them
her mortal
or go,
coil
or go.
or free them before she dies.
Yeah.
And it's not clear. I mean, some of the play certainly takes place in her mind, in her fever dreams. Some of it may actually happen. We don't really draw a line between what's really going on and what's happening in her brain. But it really is about trying to change Martha's mind to free her slaves now.
Okay, and is that what your characters are trying to do?
Yes.
Is to convince
Absolutely.
her that maybe she shouldn't wait until she died to do a good
Absolutely.
deed?
There's a lot of this back and forth, and ultimately culminates in this trial of Martha Washington, but really putting to the test, we're giving you an opportunity and giving you all the information you need to do the right thing. This is why this is wrong. And it's up to you to decide whether or not you recognize that this has been a horrible crime that you've committed.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was looking at the tagline, a spectacle of introspection. And as much as it is an introspective experience for Martha, I feel like it's an introspective experience for the audience as well.
Absolutely.
Because the way that the playwright wrote the play, it crosses through generations and talks about many different things that have happened during history. So we're kind of begging the audience to ask, is this right?
Right.
Did this happen? Is this how this happened?
And how is this still happening? And what does that look like? How is it manifested in today's society?
Exactly, because there's so many levels that you're looking at when you look at this. I mean, maybe we don't have slaves per se.
Right.
But there's another element in here that needs to be addressed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, who do you play? Moriah?
William.
You play William. And who's
Yes.
he?
He's a little boy.
He's just a little boy. Okay.
He's a slave child.
Does he belong to anyone?
None of us gathered here, but yes, he is the son of another of the house slaves, and actually, I don't think it's a spoiler to say.
Oh wait, is this like Jeopardy?
He is also. What is it you want to call me in the play?
Auntie Granny.
What's she called?
He says to Ms. Martha, "You're my Auntie Granny,"
Ain't you?
and he says that because William is the son of Martha's son, Jackie Custis, and her slave, Anne Dandridge, who is her own half-sister. So there are some very complicated relationships here.
We need 23andMe by about now, right?
That, so far as we know, none of that part is historical fact. That is the particulars of the relationships.
I mean, they take liberties because we weren't there. We don't know, but we can surmise what may have happened through letters or through this or that, which takes a lot of research to write a play like this.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Because I just read recently about the musical Hamilton, that there's some question about how accurate, because they took it from one book that they had, but there's also another side to Andrew Jackson, and so so there's a lot of stuff in there that
Absolutely.
we don't know. Learn your history, so you know what's going on. Right?
Actually, Moriah has an amazing monologue in the play, which really starts at the beginning. And when we say the beginning, I don't know, maybe she'll do it for us, a little bit of it, but it starts at the very beginning and then goes through some American history that Martha's just sitting there trying to figure out what on earth she is talking about, because it's way past Martha's time. And it really encompasses a lot of very violent and dramatic history.
That is directly correlated to the beginning of this slave game. So it's amazing.
It sounds like a wonderful play, and it's a premiere.
It is.
It is a regional
wonderful.
premiere.
Yeah,
It's been done in Philadelphia. It's been done in Washington, D.C., but so far as we know, it has not previously been done
here.
in
So in
New
about
York.
3 years, you're going to see the most spectacularly lamentable trial of Miss Martha Washington, the musical.
And Moriah is going to choreograph it.
We've been talking with the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York, and they're doing a premiere. You'll want to see it. We didn't mention the dates. It's June 7th through June 16th, and that's Thursday through Saturday, and that's at 8 p.m. And Sunday they do have a late matinee at 4 p.m. And you can get your tickets. It's in Troy at the Sage College's Meter Little Theater. So break a leg, guys.
Thank you. Can I also mention that if there's anyone who can't afford the very modest price of tickets, we also are having a free open rehearsal on this Thursday at 8 o'clock at the Meter Little Theater.
And what's really cool about that is that everybody kind of gets a feedback, and you know what works and what doesn't, maybe.
So
You hope.
just a couple of days we'll be before an audience.
Fingers crossed, good. We're going to thank you all for being here. It's a pleasure to meet you, Moriah, and I hope that you have a long history of theater in your life. Would that be nice?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Right, Dad? Okay. Okay. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be, and this kind of follows up because now we talked about the slavery here. We're going to be talking about Juneteenth and why that's important and why you should know a little bit more about Juneteenth and slavery, right? All works together. Stay tuned.